Welcome everyone to UTA Planetarium's Weekly Night Sky. My name is Jim Bader and I'm going to be your guide through the sky this week. These videos are designed to help you identify and see what's up at night. Please feel free to follow along with the real sky, or if that's not an option, you can download an application similar to the one we're using to make this video. I can recommend Stellarium as a great place to start. Stellarium is a free software that's available for both computers and mobile devices. So whether you're using a laptop, tablet, or a cell phone, you can still follow along. Look for a link in the description. For this episode of Weekly Night Sky, let's talk about the moon. This is the part of our videos where we would usually talk about light pollution and how city lights make it difficult to see the stars. However, those city lights are not quite bright enough to influence the moon. On top of that, the moon itself can be a source of light pollution in its own way. In this video, we are going to focus on the moon, not just the way it will look tonight or over the weekend, but how it will look over time. Let's start with the moon the way it will look tonight. On May 1st, we are barely out of the first quarter phase of the moon and into the very beginning of the waxing gibbous. One of the most popular questions we get in the planetarium is, why does the moon change shape? The moon itself does not change shape. What we are seeing is the location of the sun relative to the moon and its spherical or round nature. The best part about science is that if you don't believe something about nature or something someone says, you can just test it. So, for the sake of science, we better do some experiments. First, we said the phase of the moon had to do with its location in respect to the sun. So we can go to a time when the moon is closer to the sun, and then when it's farther from the sun, and check its shape or phase. Let's start by looking at a sky just before the sun sets. Now that the sun and moon are both visible, let's get rid of the atmosphere. The atmosphere usually refracts and reflects light, giving us that blue sky. Without it, we get a different view of above. Now we are going to let the date change one day at a time and see the moon's phase change slowly. We can quickly begin to see the moon is appearing to get smaller the closer it gets to the sun in the sky. If we observe the same motion from a different vantage point, we can see that not only does the moon actually get closer to the sun in the solar system, but we also start seeing less of the sunlit half of the moon. Now we can do the same example in the opposite direction. From today, we can start moving time forward and see the moon getting farther from the sun. Along with the moon getting farther from the sun, we also get to see its phase growing. We are able to see more of the sunlit portion of the moon. After the moon passes halfway around the Earth, it starts heading closer to the sun again, and its phase begins to once again show us less of the sunlit side of the moon. Now from Earth, we can see that when the moon is halfway between the sun and the horizon in its path, it's a half moon. When the sun is in the same direction as the moon, we have a new moon. And lastly, when the moon is on the opposite side of the sky from the sun, we get a full moon. Now, just by knowing what phase of the moon we are in, you will have an idea of where it should be in the sky right after the sun sets. Next, we have to test that idea about the phase of the moon being related to the physical shape of the moon. We said it must be round or spherical, so just for fun, we can change the shape to something else. So here is what the moon might look like if it was shaped like a cube over the next 2 weeks. Definitely not the shape we're used to. Here's how it might appear if it was shaped like a pyramid. Also definitely not what we usually see. And lastly, here is what the moon would look like if it was shaped like an egg. Wait a minute. It doesn't look much different. Don't tell anyone I told you this, but there's a reason it doesn't look much different. Our moon is slightly egg-shaped. Thanks for watching this episode of Weekly Night Sky. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future. We are also looking forward to your questions and ideas for future videos in the comments. Until next Friday, UTA Planetarium wishes you clear skies.